How we're doing, folks? we've got the kitchen sink with us today. Right, what we're up to today? Well, we've got ourselves a new barn owl location, and it's an absolute belter. Local knowledge is a fantastic thing. So I didn't know about this. A mate of mine spotted this particular owl and let me know about it. So it's a private site. I contacted the landowner. He was more than happy for me to come down. Really important that get your permissions first before you start trudging around anywhere. Find out who the landowner is. Go and approach them. Most landowners, you know, if you're honest and tell them what your intentions are, you know, if you're responsible and you do stuff right, they'll be more than happy for you to come down, hopefully, and you know, do your stuff on their land. Make sure you set the parameters, you know where your boundaries are, what time you're likely to be here, whether they want you to contact them before you come down, etc, etc. Nice as well to get it written down, get their phone number. If you need to contact them, you can phone them. So yeah, what we're going to do today, well, hopefully we're going to get some pictures today, because I've had a bit of a plan in my mind. The last couple of weeks I've been coming down and I've been scoping the place out. There's a load of considerations. You've got to think, what time of day you're going to be coming down. Are you going to be coming down early morning, or are you going to be coming down later on in the evening? That obviously has a big bearing on the sun position. What kind of shots do you want? Do you want flight shots? Do you want shots on perches? So scoping the place out is a massive advantage. Like I said, a couple of weeks I've been coming down, not every day, but when the weather's permitted, because the weather's been atrocious. Luckily we've got a bit of a break in it today. Bring yourself down, just bring your binoculars, get yourself cammed up, get your cargo net or your ghillie suit or whatever you've got. Get yourself bedded in. I'll show you how I do it. I don't like to be in a hide when I'm scoping stuff out, really, because it restricts your view sometimes. I know we're in the Tragopan today, we're going to set this up, and that, when you've got your camera set up on the tripod, it's fine, because you know your angles, you know where the birds are likely to be and where you're hopefully going to photograph them. When I'm just scoping a place out, I like to be all cammed up and I like to have a full peripheral field of vision, if you will. I find it sometimes a little bit restrictive when I'm in the hide, because you obviously haven't got a full, you know, 180 degree of vision, because, you know, the parts of the hide that you obviously can't see through. So just get sat in the bushes, you know, get yourself against a nice, you know, confused background, if you will, and get cammed up and see what you can see. Now, I've been doing that, like I said, for the last couple of weeks, and I know now what shots I'm after. I know I can get some nice flight shots, and I brought a couple of perches down. Now, I brought them down last night because I couldn't carry everything. I'm going to set them up. I know roughly where I'm going to set them up. I've seen the owl perched on this bit of fencing, so I'm going to incorporate I brought a nice mossy branch, and I brought an old post down as well. You know, I like my old posts and that, so hopefully, you never know, it's just potluck, in it. We're gonna set them up. We're gonna set the hide up. We're gonna get in there, and hopefully we're gonna get some footage of these barn owls, because they have been flying. And like I said, we've got a break in the weather. The last couple of days we've had that storm come in, and the weather's been awful. So the barn owls, they haven't, well, I assume they haven't been out hunting, because it's been dead windy and rainy, and we all know barn owls, they don't like hunting in the wet. So this bit of a break in the weather, I'm hoping that it's going to give us the opportunity to get some pictures. We've got the 500 PF with the Z6 II. I've also brought my zoom as well. Been having a few issues. It's not as easy as you think trying to get the video footage. So with the 500 PF, I think I'm going to be a little bit, because I've got the crop factor, I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit too zoomed in, so I've brought the Sigma, the 150 to 600, and hopefully I can back off a bit and get a wider field of view, and hopefully we can get some images of these barn owls flying. So that's today's task. Come on, let's go and get set up. Okay, this is where we're going to set up. I've got a nice view of the field. There's actually two fields here. Now, they're old recreation fields, to be honest, and they're surrounded by fields that have got sheep in. That are, there's no feeding areas for the barn owls, let's put it that way. So we've two fields here. So that's a fantastic thing, because I haven't got a massive area where the barn owls are going to hunt, so it's somewhat limited, if you will. And through watching them over the last couple of weeks, they feed between the two fields. So I've got the sun behind me. Later on, hopefully the skies are getting a little bit blue, and then we've got a little bit of sunshine forecast, which would be fantastic. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get the V6 set up, get all the gear away, and got the camera on the tripod, and we're good to go. Then I'll just show you how I set up when I'm scoping out, you know, with all the camo and what I bring with me. So we'll get that V6 set up now, and hopefully the sun will come out. Really important, once you've set up, make sure you're comfortable. You don't want to be moving afterwards. You know, if the birds come in suddenly, you don't want to be having to readjust, if you will. Check you can get a full range of movement. That's perfect, that. Check the height's right. We're sinking in a bit here because it's it's so wet, but that's the direction we're going to have our posts. We'll put them up in a minute. Yeah, we're good to go. Make sure your tripod head is level. Quick setup of that. Bang. Like I've said before as well, check your full range of movement, but check that there's nothing in the way, because once you're in the hide, you don't want to be coming out of it again. That will just give the game away. Even if you can't see the birds, they might be knocking about, they might be perched up in a tree, and if you're coming out of the hide and snipping foliage away, they're going to see you, and that's give the game away. So really important that once you're in the hide, you're not coming out until you're going home. All right, I'm happy with that, so we can leave that now. What we're going to do now, I've got my two posts that I brought down yesterday. We're going to go and set them up. All right, folks, so this is what we've got. This is what we've got to work with. Now this one, I found this one a couple of days ago, I think. I was out walking again. Old fence post, rotted off at the bottom. Someone's put a new fence post in, and a new fence line, and this was just laid on the ground. So as you can see, You know, in that last barn owl film I was talking about, I talked about patina, didn't I? I mean, look at that thing of beauty, isn't it? You know, got the old staples in it, and it's just got that texture and that look about it, which will be really nice if we get a barn owl on that. So we'll see, won't we? So we're going to put that one in. Now the other one, this is more of a natural perch. Now pick this up. This were in local woodland. Again, broken off. It was a tree that had blown down, and it's got some fantastic details and moss and texture on it. But when I got it, it was really unstable. So what I did, took it home, put it in the garage, and just left it in the garage for a week. And it's kind of, I don't know, kind of consolidated it a bit. It's just gone a bit firmer. It were dead wobbly. I mean, the bark's coming off and that, but it's going to do in it. But hopefully for us, you never know. It's just how we're going to orientate it, because it's a bit of a cob shape, to be honest. So I don't think we're going to be able to put it. What we want really is we want to set this bit. This is the end bit. We want to try and set this horizontally, because if we set it up, you know, like that, I don't think. Well, I don't know. You've got to kind of think like an owl, haven't you? Would you want to land on it if it were up that way? I don't know. Probably not. So we'll try and orientate this so that the end is horizontal. And what we want, because where we're putting it, it's on a bit of old fencing, and I've seen them land on that. But I've found in the past, photographing barn owls, if you put a post in on an existing fence line, you know, you might have a fence line that's got them, you know, brand new 3-inch round posts that they're not very attractive. If you put a post on that fence line, attach it to one of the new posts, but put it a little bit higher, they will, not all the time, but they will land on it, because it's higher up. And if they're on a big field as well, I've found that barn owls, they will hunt off a perch, because they're not having to fly about. They can just sit on the post or the fence, and they can hunt off that. I've seen them, you know, they look down and then they'll just dive straight off if they see a rodent or some prey. So that's the idea, just set it a little bit higher. So we'll take these over there now. We'll get our bag of cordage that we've got and secure them onto the right. So this is obviously what we're securing it to. Now if I put it like that, it's not a lot higher. So ideally what I want to do is put that, there you go, underneath there, and that's a good 2 foot higher now. So we'll secure that. Length of cordage, nothing fancy. You can use a series of half hitches, or if you don't know your knots, there's another saying, if you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. So a lot of granny knots will do you, but yeah, it's not going to be like a white-tailed seagull landed on it, is it? It's only a little barn owl, so, but it wants to be secure. We don't want it wafting around. We'll get it as secure as we can. Just bear in mind when you're securing it, make it a knot that you can undo, because if it's not in the right position, you want to be able to undo it, don't you? You don't want to waste all that cordage, but that's pretty solid. Like I said, that bark's a little bit hit and miss, but that'll do us for that one. Alright, same again with this one. Bear in mind as well the angle, so you want the best side of the post, which I think is that, and them staples. So ideally, just want want to try and angle, well, that's the angle we're shooting from, so we're going to see that face and that face, so I think that'll do. And again, we're only a foot higher than the original bar, so whether it works or not is another thing. Just a length of cordage. All this is it's just cheap paracord, but it does the job fine. I think that'll do it really. Don't need a lot because it's got a bit of a spike on the bottom, this one, so it's kind of there. That's fine. Right, let's go now and have a look at how we get set up when we're scouting. Come on. Right folks, this is what I bring when I'm scouting a location out. Lightweight, don't need a lot of stuff. Alright, this, absolute godsend. Today, or in particular over the last couple of weeks, the ground is sodden, it's wet through everywhere. So this particular spot I've got, it's a little bit wet, a little bit skanky, so I keep my backside dry. I'm just going to put the mat down. I've got on now another subject that requires a full film, to be honest, camo. Not everyone's cup of tea. I love my camo stuff and I think it gives me a massive advantage. I was reading an article recently in a popular outdoor photography magazine. I think it was to do with roe deer, and whoever it was writing it, it was a fantastic article, and they said ditch the camo, you don't need it. Well, I don't know. If you're in a I think it gives you a massive advantage. If you're not in a hide, you know, and you're out, if you've got camo on, I mean, look at that, how good that pattern is against this kind of stuff. I just think it gives you a real advantage, you know, rather than having to put up a hide or, you know, a big scrim nets and all, etc, etc. You can just blend into the background. If you're in a popular place, you know, if you're walking around a nature reserve and there's all people all over the place with red jackets on and all sorts of colours, there's no point. You look a bit bonkers, to be honest. But you know, if you're out in the sticks like this, and you know the subjects that you're shooting, they're not used to people, well, you need all the advantages you can get, and I think camo gives you a massive advantage. These ones, these are Pro Logic. They're actually a carp fishing. They're like a salopette, if you will. They are absolutely brilliant for winter because they come up here. Yeah, they've got braces on, insulated, waterproof. They're absolutely superb. I love them. Got my wellies on because it's wet. I've got my jack pipe, well, my Rannoch jack pipe jacket on with the hood. All I'm going to have my binoculars. I keep watching for this bar now because I'm sure it's going to come out. I've got my binos on, so I'll stick them on. I've also, really important, something that a lot of people overlook, you want to get all the pale bits covered up. So these are my Deer Hunter 3D camo gloves, dead lightweight. That's your hand sorted, yep. And I do have the Deer Hunter face veil as well, but I've left that at home, so luckily I've got another one here. It's like a balaclava, if you will, and again it just covers up all them pale bits. You might look a bit crackers, but it don't matter, does it? It's all about getting the shots. And so that up there. Also, I've got this, which is my Tragopan ghillie blanket. This is a game changer. I use this all the time. You'll have seen this in quite a few videos that I've done. And once that's opened up, so all I'm going to do, I'm just going to get sat down here. Just Got a little tree there, I can just use that to my advantage. Put that over there, and then that is me, and I'm just going to hunker down. I don't even need my binoculars at the moment, to be honest, because I'm that close to where I think they're going to come, and I'll just sit here like this for a good few hours. And I've got a full range of vision. Like I said, I'm not in the hide. My vision isn't restricted at all. I'm just going to sit and watch. Well, no sign of the owl yet, but early days. I'll say the setup we've got the Z6 with the 500 PF. That's on the tripod, and also when I've been down here, they've been landing off to the right here. So what I've done, the good thing with this hide is you can swap these side openings out. So that's the opening with the lens, like a, I don't know, it's like a restricted lens cover, if you will. We've got that up out of the way, and I've just put like a mesh one with an opening on. So we've got the D500 with the Sigma zoom, the 150 to 600. So if anything comes down that side and I can't get it off the tripod, I can spin around, pick this up, and hopefully we'll get some, you know, on this setup as well. So it just gives us two options. Well folks, I think we'll call that a wrap. That was a roaring success. I could not believe it when it landed on that post first, and then it flew onto the log as well. So that is a first. It doesn't usually happen like that, but hey, we made it happen, didn't we? I didn't get any decent footage of it. It was hunting around the field. I got some lovely stills, and so we'll put them on at the end. But just having a few issues with this, the video tracking for birds in flight. I haven't got it sussed yet. Now whether it's me doing something wrong, I don't know. If anyone else out there who does vlogs and they're, you know, trying to get the auto tracking to lock onto a bird in flight, I don't know. It might be me doing something wrong, but yeah, we're not quite there yet. But we're going to pack up now. We've lost the light. It's getting towards 5 o'clock now, so the nights are getting longer. So you know, it's great when it's like that. We're coming out of the winter hours, so we're going to wrap it up now, get packed up. I'm chuffed to bits with that. That's how I do it anyway. That's how I photograph barn owls, and how I do setups like this. So if you've liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully this film will take us over 10,000 subs, which would be absolutely amazing. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. See you now.